How's everyone doing, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, I'm going to address a video that I posted a video yesterday asking people what they want me to do a video on. Someone commented and said, how do you find out like where high profile prisoners are? Like, say there's been, I don't know, a murder or like some like a big, like a big case like a serial killer or a murderer. How do you find out what prison they're in? Right now, if we lived in America, it's dead easy. America, everything's online in America. You find out anything. You can find out where most prisons are in America. But in the UK, it's a lot more. It's a lot harder. Now, like I say, I've wrote to high-profile prisoners. As you all know, I used to write to serial killer Ian Brady with the intention of trying to get the location of Keith Bennett's body. And I wrote to many, many other high-profile prisoners, serial killers, and all that sort of stuff. Why? Because I've had a vested interest in crime from a young age. I'm like an uneducated criminology student, right? I like how the criminal mind works and why people do what they do, right? Their actions and stuff. Right, guys, anyway, so let's get into it. How did I can't tell you, like, from each courthouse here in the UK, you go to a specific prison, right? But if that prison's full, right, i.e. if you go to Manchester Magistrates Court here in Manchester, ordinarily you go to Strangeways. If Strangeways full, or what they call locked out, where they're not accepting any more prisoners, you can end up at Forest Bank or various other prisons. The first time I was ever sent down from Trafford Magistrates on a remand for witness intimidation, which was bullshit, you go to Strangeways. But out of everyone in the cells, the female screw, I got on with her, and she said, right, you're going to Strangeways, everyone else is going to Armley in Leeds, and the rest are going to go on to Doncaster. And like I say, so when I wrote to high profile prisoners, how have I found out where they are? Right, you can go through the National Offender Management Service, right, where you just look online, type in NOMS, NOMS, right, find a prisoner, and it'll come up. Right now, you can email them and tell them the prisoner and say why you want to write to them and stuff. Now, the NOMS, the National Offender Management Service, they should then contact the said prisoner you're trying to contact and say that someone's trying to write to you. Do you want us to pass on your details? If that person says no, the details won't be passed. I've tried to go through the National Offenders Management Services a few times, and it's never come to anything. They've never helped me. I don't think that they contact prisoners, to be honest. I don't like NOMS, National Offenders Management System, right? So what I've done is say there's a prisoner, right? Now, sometimes, like the media, they've got reporting restrictions in place sometimes so that the integrity of the case is kept, right? Now, how I'll go into how I have managed to locate high-profile prisoners. Some of them are easier to find than others, right? So what I do, you type in the prisoner's name, right? So, I don't know, fucking, like, Michael Adebolajo, he was one of Lee Rigby's killers, right? The freak that he was, right? And then you type in the prisoner's name, and then what I put in is via video link, right? And then what it'll do, it will come up with any story relating to the prisoner you've named, right? And when they've appeared in court via video link, and it'll come up and it'll tell you what prison they're in. So you look for the most recent posting where it says via video link from, right? And then you write to that prison. Now, if it's years have gone by and stuff, the chances are that prison has been moved from prison to prison to prison. But I'll give you an example of a couple, right? Charles Bronson, infamous Charlie Bronson, who shouldn't be in prison but still sadly is in prison. He's in Wakefield, right? Now, if you're going to write to someone like, I don't know, Charles Bronson, right, what you do, if you don't know it, I know his prison number, right, but I'm not going to give out his prison number. Now, what you do, is if you write the person's name, say you write into someone, so you write a letter to the prisoner you want to talk to or you want to communicate with, right, And then what you do, you'll write then once you finish your letter, you'll get 2 envelopes, right? On one, you'll put a stamp and you'll write your name, your address, right, and your postcode, right? You fold that up, you put it in with a letter. It's called a stamped addressed envelope, right? That's why do you do that? So that the prisoner, if he chooses to, or she chooses to, can write back to you, right? So you put in an envelope with a stamp on it with your name and address, right? So then when it comes to the envelope that you send to the prisoner, right, so you found out what prison they're in, right, you write their name. If you don't know the prison number, which first time out you won't do, you put in brackets, you put the date of birth. Now again, how do you find out the date of birth? If it's a very high profile case, they'll have a Wikipedia page, right, and you can find the date of birth off that. If not, you try and find out the rough age of the person, or just put like the prisoner's name and then just put in DOB for date of birth, or and then it will generate and it'll tell you what date of birth is. So when you first write to them, say when I've been in prison, there's been you get prisoners that you've got more than one prisoner with the same name. So what you do, once you've written the name of the prisoner, in brackets you put the date of birth, that then specific to that prisoner, right? And that will then hopefully should find the prisoner you're trying to write to that's a high profile prisoner. Like I say, you've got Peter Sutcliffe was in Broadmoor and stuff. He's now in Franklin prison. I think Ian Huntley, I think he's in Franklin as well, right? The child murdering bastard, right? Ian Brady was in Ashworth Hospital. That was like public knowledge in the media and stuff. It is hard to track down certain prisoners. Now, like I say, if there's a case going on at the time and there's a trial ongoing, the prisoner, you ring that courthouse and say, right, can you just tell me what from your courthouse, what prison do they go? Like I say, guys, I need to make a disclaimer. From every courthouse you go to a certain prison, but if you're on trial, like there's lads that have been on trial when I was last in, and they was at Manchester Crown, right? Now they should, once they go to court for the trial, normally they'd land at Strangeways, right? But they was put on hold, which means that they go back to the prison they've gone from. So, i.e., Forest Bank in Salford, right? They was going to trial at Manchester Crown Court and going back to Forest Bank. But ordinarily, you go to trial at Manchester Crown, and then once the day of the trial's finished, they'll put you in Strangeways, right? No one wants to end up in Strangeways. It's a fucking horrific prison. So, like I say, there's different ways, guys, right? So, just because if you ring a courthouse and they say, oh, from this court you go to Forest Bank or Strangeways, right? You can't take that for granted. You understand? So, like I say, but for high-profile cases, guys, type in the prisoner's name you want to communicate with. Type in via video link, and it'll tell you via video link from Pentonville prison, from Belmarsh prison, right? I think Anjem Chowdhury, the radical preacher, that scumbag, right? That ISIS supporting scumbag, he's in Belmarsh with Abu Izzahuddin. They was the leaders of a banned Al Qaeda movement called Al Mujahideen. They're both in prison for 10 years for supporting Islamic State, scumbags that they are. One of Lee Rigby's killers, Michael Adebowale, he was in Broadmoor. He went to Wakefield, and now he's gone back to Broadmoor. Michael Adebolajo, the scumbag, one of Lee Rigby's killers, he was in Belmarsh, and then he's now in Franklin. Or last time I heard he was in Franklin. I don't write to them people. But like I say, if you want to write, like I say, you find out, and you just type in the prisoner's name via video link, and then it'll come up via video link from H&P Pentonville. That's how I personally found out locations for many prisoners here in the UK. Like I say, in America, guys, you go on Google, it gives you the prison number, what prison they're in, the last time they was in that prison, and all that sort of stuff. America is dead easy. If you're going to try and go through NOMS and National Offender Management System services even, my advice would be don't bother, because they don't get back to you. So you've got to do a bit of detective work off your own back, and you'll find out. Female prisoners, there was the, I can't remember her name, Johanna Dennehy. She stabbed 3 guys to death, I believe. She had a boyfriend called Gary Stretch Summit. He was about 6'10", 6'11". She got convicted of murder. She was classed as a woman serial killer. She had a tattoo here. She's in Bronzefield Prison down in Surrey, I believe it is, or Middlesex, somewhere like that. So yeah, like I say, I just know because I keep up to date with where people are and stuff. Yeah, like I say, if I'm going to write to someone, I need to know where people are. Paedophile, fucking Rolf Harris, who's now out of prison. He was in HMP Stafford. I keep up to date with the news, guys. I keep up with current affairs and stuff. Obviously, crime is something that I'm passionate about and something that I'm very interested in. So yeah, I wrote to Scott. There's a paedophile serial killer from Scotland called as Angus Sinclair Robertson. He's in HMP Glenachill in Scotland. I think Peter Tobin, serial killer. I can't remember off the bat which prison he's in, off the top of my head. Like I say, guys, there's a lot of different prisoners within the system. But if you're looking for high-profile cases, that's how you'd find them. Right? Like I say, guys, just down to doing a bit of detective work. And like I say, the quickest and easiest way, type in the person's name, type in via video link from, and if that doesn't come up, then just put in like the prisoner's name and then HMP, and then it should come up with a prison. Some do, some don't. It's just hit and miss, guys, right? But there are ways and means of finding out, but you've just got to do a bit of detective work, and you can then locate prisoners throughout the UK, and stuff like that. Right, guys, going to leave this video here. Hope this helps you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Everything I've just said about the way that you look for prisoners has worked for me personally. That's why I'm giving this advice out. Right, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Catch you all soon. Bye.